Hello everyone, the time has finally come to reveal DEEPFAKE. It is finally done and I am very, very happy with it. But before we get into the video, I do want to say just a little bit about the history, how I got the idea to build this blaster, and everything involving all of that. So if you don't want to listen to any of that, I will have a timestamp right here that will show you when you can skip to if you just want to get into the overview of the blaster. Now, starting off with the history and the idea of DEEPFAKE. So basically, one day I stumbled across the band blaster's website and found their dual-stage strifecades that can hit up to 300 FPS. And as someone who loves high FPS, that is super interesting to me. And I started going through the reviews trying to figure out how people managed to do this. The only review I found had a picture of someone who just cut off the front of the strife. And I did not like that one bit. It did not look good at all. And this was about a year ago. And over the past year, I've been thinking about it, and as I learned about integrations and how to do all this fancy stuff, I figured I could probably do it better. And that's just what I did. And the reason this blaster came to be was the Merge Masters integration competition, which I was not planning to be a part of. Until I decided, you know what, screw it, the best way to learn is by doing. And that's exactly what I did. I joined the competition. My original plan was to build a Rayven and Centurion integration, but when I found out there were size requirements involved this year, I knew there was no way in the world that would fit. So I finally came up with something different to do. And what that evolved into was DEEPFAKE. I originally was just going to do a Straven, and then I turned into a half-dart Straven because I'm all about high power. And if you know anything about flywheel blasters, it's hard to get really high power and high accuracy. I say that with air quotes because flywheel blasters really aren't that accurate out of full-length darts. So I decided I was going to make it a half-dart Straven. That turned out really well, and then I decided, you know what, let's make this dream a reality. So that's exactly what I did. And now, it took a little bit under 3 months to finish this build, but it's finally done and it's working. It's not perfect, I made some mistakes, but this was my very first finished integration. I had one that I had started prior to this one that never got finished. I made a lot of mistakes with it and it will probably never be finished. But this one turned out pretty well for my first time doing integration work. I'm very, very pleased with myself and proud of myself. I owe quite a few thank yous to quite a few different people, but I'm going to put that at the end of the video. I'm really proud of myself, and I hope you guys enjoy the build as much as I do. I love strifes, Stravens. I like the idea of a Straven, but it never really seemed like it was good for me. So I decided to put my own spin on it and make it for me. There's a lot of custom details in this blaster that I will go over in this video. It's just, I'm really proud of myself with it. There's a couple of mistakes that I made with it, with the body work, mainly with paint. The clear coat, I ended up putting the 1K clear coat over it a bit too heavy of coats, and it caused it to get a yellowish tint to it, which I am really very, very disappointed in and unhappy with. But I do not want to sand down the whole thing and start over because that would be a lot of work. And honestly, I'm okay with it where it is because it is going to be used in games. It will have some battle damage, so it doesn't need to be perfect. For my first one, I am very, very pleased with myself. But I think that covers just about everything with the history of it, other than the name. Let's talk about the name. So, I was struggling with a name for this blaster for, well, since I started it. I've been thinking about it the whole time. And I went from Red Mist to Straven 1 to Straven because it has 2 stripes in it and a Raven, and a bunch of other names that are too terrible to mention on camera. Until I finally discovered or came upon or decided on DEEPFAKE. The reason I decided on DEEPFAKE is because as I was showing off this blaster in multiple different Discord servers and Facebook groups, I had quite a few people who said they thought it was a rapid strike with a strife and a Raven, and a lot of people who didn't realize it was a cut down strife, a lot of people who didn't realize it was dual stage, a lot of people just said they had to take a double take at it to be able to understand what it was. And I thought, well, double take may be a good name, but that's a little bit too obvious. So I went with DEEPFAKE, because you really have to look at it to understand what it is. But I think that's just about everything to go over with this blaster without actually holding it in my hand. So let's get into that, because that's what everybody's here for. This is DEEPFAKE, my 2025 Merge Masters build. As you can see, it's a Rayven, but it has the half dark mag rail and dual stage area up here, which is super awesome. Let's go over the internals, and then I'll go over everything on the outside, because the internals are by far the simple part of this build. Up at the front, we have a 39.5mm cage. It's a Daybreak cage running off of 4 Daybreak flywheels and 4 Kraken motors. It hits just about 200 FPS with worker heavies, which is exactly where I wanted to be at. My original plan was to put a Band Blaster's cage in this, but unfortunately, I did not have the money to do that at the time of building this. Hopefully, I'll be able to put that in sometime, but I just wasn't able to string it within the build time for this. I have spent a lot of money on this build, and I could not pull off another $140 plus shipping to get that cage. In the back, we have the standard mechanical pusher, nothing fancy. It does have the extended strife pusher, or extended worker pusher from out of darts, which helps with feeding issues because it is a mini strife. And then the battery storage is actually in the back. If you've noticed by now, this whole area has been covered and filled in, and the battery storage is actually in the back, which we will go over shortly. Externally, it's a Rayven pretty much in the back. There's nothing really crazy back here other than this Vile Mods designed Rayven battery tray extension, which is beautiful and fits seamlessly with this build. Moving up, we have the grip area, which was very fun to build and I think turned out very, very nice. We have the main grip, a 3D printed rev trigger, 3D printed mag release, and the stock main trigger, which ties in with the orange in the muzzle, the suppressor, and the magazine release here in the back of the Rayven. Up top, we have the stock rail. It does not have the little piece in it because I don't like that. Moving farther up, we have the dual stage area and the mag rail, as well as a 3D printed Picatinny rail that has been built into place on this build. We have a swing loop up at the front. We have a 3D printed main grip that is on a Picatinny rail that has been custom made with the stock attachment, so I can use any type of front attachment I want, but I have this extended Picatinny rail that runs the entire length of the bottom of the blaster up here at the front. Now we get to go over the fancy stuff with the bodywork that I'm really proud of. This is a fake magazine. I took a 6-round Nerf magazine, cut it down, glued it into the Rayven mag rail, and then put that inside of the blaster. And this is where the battery is held, which I will have an overlay picture going up right about now, which will show all of the inside of it with the door off. It is completely hollowed out in there. I do have an extended strife battery door in there, which helps hold the humongous battery, which I will have another picture going over right about now. Moving up at the front, this is a 3D printed Shrim battery door that is very, very bigger, or very, very slightly bigger than the original battery door for the strife. And then that has been covered with putty and has been made into the whole blaster. You will also notice that all of these little areas with the grip and everything has all been filled in and rounded out with the body. There's a lot of other small things that you wouldn't really notice until you really look at it. It has a lot of very fine details, but there's also some mistakes. Up at the front, of course, we do still have the in-strike muzzle attachment, as well as a worker suppressor, because that looks cool and it helps balance out the blaster a little bit more. On the other side, it is still just kind of like a basic Rayven back here in the back. Dual stage up here. I did cut out these lines here. I think it looks very good that way. The motor bumping, all of that. Now, let's go over the paint. I started off with Rust-Oleum Filler Primer, which I will have a picture of that going over the screen right about now. I followed that up with some vinyl dye. I'll have a picture of that over now. Then I followed up with some Bear spray paint, which turned out very nice. Bear white spray paint, which was very thick, but turned out very good on this blaster. And after I did that, I followed it up with some 1K clear coat. And I will have pictures of all of those over the screen so you guys can all see them. And luckily, I did not have any issues with the chemicals reacting negatively with each other, which is a big concern that I had. The paint turned out really good. The paint lines turned out really good. There's a couple mistakes with the paint line, and I sort of washed the blaster off before clear coat. There's some dust inside of the clear coat now, but like I said, I don't really mind that because it's going to be used, and it's going to get banged up, and it's really just not that big a deal to me. Yeah, I think that's just about everything we need to go over with the blaster itself. Let's get some firing footage now, because I know you guys want to see this thing rip. It's pretty good. I'm really happy with it. I had some issues with the pusher and feeding, but I finally got that all worked out yesterday, so I was able to get this video out just in time. But yeah, let's get some firing footage. Okay, everybody, time for some firing footage. As always, I have Worker Gen 3s and a extended 15-round Talon magazine with DEEPFAKE. I do have the Worker suppressor off of it. I do not run that in-game. It does hurt the performance of the blaster. I would never run it in a game. It takes away any kind of accuracy, as well as drops down the FPS. And headphone warning, because this thing is loud. Like I said before, it's just a semi-auto setup, nothing crazy, but let's load up one more mag and do a really fast mag dump and then get some firing footage. Alright, we got Worker Heavies. Let's see how fast I can fire this thing. Not bad. I can't shoot it too fast because the trigger pull is still a little bit iffy with it being a mini strife. Every mini strife is different, and sometimes it doesn't feed perfectly. I have it where I'm comfortable with it, but you just have to make sure you pull the trigger fully and you pull it hard every single time, or you will have issues. So firing it super quickly is a little bit more difficult. But let's get some footage of shooting downrange and not at me, because that's what everybody wants to see. Okay, I'm still using brand new Worker Heavies. I'm going to aim at my target. I'm probably 20-25 feet away. So it's not a super long range, but it's what I have access to. So let's see how it does. Again, headphone warning. Not bad at all. I have a couple more darts loaded up, not quite a full magazine, but I want to see how fast I can pull the trigger. Headphone warning. So, not too bad. Now, let's see if I can get some FPS reading. Okay, I have 6 darts loaded up. Let's see what we can do. 196. Mislead. 204. Misread. 206. 202. 202. And that's the entire magazine. So right around 200. Something I forgot to show at the beginning of the video was what it looks like with the suppressor off. You can see it, it doesn't look bad, but it definitely looks better with the suppressor on, which is why I'm keeping it on. But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed the video. If you have any questions or comments and concerns, as always, put that down in the comments. While you're down there, please hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already. If you made it this far in the video, I assume you like it. I've worked very hard on this blaster, and by you liking the video and possibly subscribing, it really shows your appreciation of how hard I worked on this blaster. There are a couple thank yous I want to put out there. Thank you to Prickly Mods on Discord for all of his advice with the bodywork. Vile Mods for the files to his extended door back here in the back. I will have the link to those down in the description. Thank you to everybody else on the Merge Masters Discord, Ralcom's Discord server, the Gentry of Foam Fringers Facebook chat and group. All of you guys have been super helpful, and if I am forgetting anybody, please let me know. Another big thank you to Phase 1 Foam, who helped me with the paint. I think I covered everybody who helped me. If not, please let me know down in the comments, and I will add you to the description. There's been so many people who have helped me with this, and I am ever so grateful. You guys literally helped me turn my dream into a reality. But yes, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see y'all next time. Remember, it's custom or nothing. Peace out, everyone.